Oh, thank you all so much for coming. And welcome to our Newburyport Cultural Forum. I am Pat Cannon. I'm with the Cultural Council, the Newburyport Cultural Council here. And we're so fortunate to be able to build upon the foundation that so many people here, I look out at the audience and it's just so many people here that have built this foundation with their passion and dedication to the arts, sciences, and all of the cultural organizations in Newburyport. We're extremely grateful. So today we come together, that's the theme. I don't know if you noticed the sax was playing Come Together by the Beatles. But we come together, and as our logo, this is our new logo that was just designed by Peter. It shows the diverse people, organizations, interests, and opportunities that can be woven together to create one vision and one future. And thank you all for just coming together today and really understanding the importance of collaboration. To really understand the importance of collaboration and complementing each other. This is really just the beginning. We're so excited. This is an important time for all of our voices to be heard. We look forward to vibrant discussion and solidifying our path to further our city's cultural identity. And we do truly appreciate the city's support with this as well. And such support from a lot of people here, so we really appreciate it. I'd like to introduce two speakers. Andrew Levine, who is Mayor Reardon's Chief of Staff, in addition to all the other hats that he puts on and wears. He is a major champion of the arts and culture here in Newburyport. And then after that, I'd like to introduce John Moynihan and John Budzina, who are two amazing guys who are just such an inspirational group who have formed the Newburyport Arts Collective. So thank you all so much and enjoy.
Well, thank you so much for that introduction, Pat. I want to offer my thanks to you and to the entire Cultural Council for all that you've done to plan this incredible event. So I'm speaking today on behalf of Mayor Reardon. He's in North Carolina today for his brother-in-law's change of command ceremony to the U.S. Air Force. On that note, he wants to thank all of you for thinking of how we can help the arts community in Newburyport to reach new heights. So Mayor Reardon loves to say that collaboration is how difficult things get done. And that's why we're so excited about today's theme, which is Come Together. Shaping the future of arts and culture in Newburyport is difficult, which is why we need to bring so many talented people together to help make that happen. The city is committed to being a partner and leader on these issues, and we look forward to working with you to advance these arts and culture efforts. So, personal note, before working in municipal government, I worked for Mass Development, the state's development finance agency. And one of our goals at this agency was helping to support the Massachusetts gateway cities, these mid-sized cities with below average economic and educational indicators. So I worked on a project called TBI, the Transformative Development Initiative, great name, which focused on short-term supports that could help get cities on track to meet their economic and community development goals. So this program started with a focus on planning, looking at business development, looking at infrastructure investments. But if you look at it now, there's a key element they didn't even know was important at the start, and that's arts and culture, developing the creative economy in each of these communities. So whether it was supporting an international mural festival in Lynn, which helped change the face of downtown, or organizing the various cultural groups of New Bedford to establish and market it as an arts and culture hub, or helping start an art and skateboarding festival in Springfield, we found that nothing was as effective as arts and culture in helping cities write new narratives about themselves to harness that new energy. So here in Newburyport, the mayor unveiled his strategic plan this year, and it includes 4 main objectives. 1 is to secure and invest in the city's infrastructure. 2 is to provide high-quality public services. 3 to guide the future development of the city. And 4 to lead in building a collaborative and engaged community. So I want to highlight 2 key ways in which elevating arts and culture can help achieve these goals. So first is on building a collaborative and engaged community. So one of the best strategies we've seen in engaging new communities and bringing people together is through the arts. We want to find new opportunities to unite around music, around culture, around art, dance, every other form of creative expression. And we hope to continue these strong partnerships with all these amazing organizations who are here today and help you all continue to thrive. We also see arts and culture as essential to our economic development strategy and building a unique identity for the city. We're known as a city with a thriving arts and culture scene, and it's essential that we continue to support this industry, which has been through so much with the pandemic. So we're undertaking right now an economic development strategy plan, working with consultants to create a plan for economic development. We're going to make sure that a part of that is how to build around the arts, around arts and culture, and to find that role that the creative economy plays as we consider future actions. So I joined Mayor Reardon's administration at the end of January, and part of what brought me here was recognizing what a special community this is. Newburyport has beautiful natural surroundings, as you can tell right now, a vibrant and active downtown, thriving neighborhoods, a city that has history that's valued and recognized by all, and most importantly, so many people who are committed to the future of this city. We want to focus on how we can all come together to bring out the best in Newburyport. The work you're all doing today is essential for that, and the mayor and I look forward to partnering with you to elevate the arts in this city, and by that, make Newburyport the best city it can be. Thank you all, and look forward to continuing to come together and keep this work going. Thank you.
Hello, my name is John Moynihan. I'm the Executive Director of the Firehouse Center for the Arts. To my left is John Budzina, the Co-Director of Acting Out and the President of the Board of Directors of the Actor Studio of Newburyport. And together, we are honored to speak with you all about the Newburyport Arts Collective. COVID-19 presented many challenges, but also became a time to embrace new ways of working. As Newburyport area arts and cultural organizations innovated to reach audiences in new, safe, remote ways, questions of relevance and financial viability were important to address. There was a serious risk that many of our beloved arts organizations would not be able to fully recover. And so our community stood to lose many of the benefits that come from arts engagement. It was urgent that we reach out to each other to use our collective strength to not only rebuild, but to rebuild in such a way that our organizations become stronger than ever. The mission of the Newburyport Arts Collective is to advocate for, engage, and elevate the nonprofit arts, cultural organizations, and individual artists in the greater Newburyport area. Now, there's a survey that I love to quote. It's the Americans for the Arts and Prosperity survey that says that for every person who comes into town to take in an arts and cultural event, they spend an additional $32 to $35 per person at a restaurant, a hotel, downtown store, which means that the arts and culture in this community generates and gives back nearly $3 million back to the economy of Newburyport every year. Arts and culture is vibrant and so important to the vibrancy of our downtown businesses and our downtown economy.
The vision of the Newburyport Arts Collective is to enrich our community through engagement with the arts, to foster a culture of inclusiveness so everyone feels welcome. We nurture collaboration among our members, and we want to dramatically expand the visibility and reach of each organization so that Greater Newburyport enhances its position in the region as a significant center for the arts. Now, the Newburyport Arts Collective includes almost 30 organizations supporting the works of artists, dancers, actors, writers, activists, movie makers, musicians, and creatives. We expect that this arts collective will have a major financial impact on each organization in the region by securing city and state supported funds for the arts, increasing audiences through the more robust promotion and shared resources, and by continually building Greater Newburyport's reputation as a go-to arts destination. This weekend there will be dozens of artists participating in the Spring Arts Festival in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please come down to Waterfront Park this Saturday and Sunday and see the diversity of arts and art offerings. Both days, 10 a.m. to sunset. Just come bring a lunch, stay all day. The NAC and its members are committed to increasing the awareness of the diverse arts opportunities in Greater Newburyport. We look forward to working more closely with the Chamber of Commerce of Industry and the City of Newburyport to help the arts community rebuild and grow in the weeks, months, and years to come. So how do we work more closely? As a community of nonprofits, businesses, and residents, what is our collective vision of an arts-infused community? And Pat's going to show you how we're going to talk about it. Thank you.
Ziemba, and I have been up until last year at the living in Newburyport for 12 years. During that time, got involved in one after another cultural events and cultural organizations. And so I'm talking to my friend Pat Cannon about this. She said, "Well, you're the perfect person to be a part of that." Here I am. I have a role today of getting us all through I'm stuttering because we have a strange way of introducing. We're going to introduce everybody to everybody else. And the way we'll do that is start right there, and I'd like you to just concentrate on doing very quickly your name, organization you represent, and a very brief response. Again, I say again, a very brief response to a large and complicated question. What does culture mean to me? And so, for example, I'll use myself. Quote, Ron Ziemba, former member of the Newburyport Cultural Council. For me, culture is the glue that holds a society together. 15 seconds is all that took. And when you think in terms of words, think in terms of 20 words. And we'll be able to get through this very quickly. You can stand or remain seated, but I recommend that you stand and face the audience and speak loudly and clearly. Okay? Name, organization, and answer the question. Okay?
I'm Robin Lawson. I am here, I believe I'm invited because I am the co-chair of Newbury Town Day coming up on June 18th, which is a celebration of our town. I rehearsed this. Culture defines and expresses the human experience, thereby defines and expresses my experience.
Applause is not necessary. No, it was great.
Applause at the end. We'll have a lot of applause at the end.
Hi, I'm John Moreland, and I'm president of the Newburyport Choral Society's Board of Directors, treasurer of the Newburyport Chamber Music Festival, on the board for the newly restarted Belleville Arts Foundation, and that's about it for now. I do want to say, after you've had all your fun on Saturday during the day here, come to the Choral Society's concert at Belleville Church on Saturday night. I wasn't aware I was supposed to I didn't get the homework assignment, but to me, culture is a way that we can communicate with each other. it's all of us sharing the beauty that we find in life. So we'll leave it at that.
Thank you, John.
Some of you know me, I go with him. I'm Mary Ellen Moreland. I am on the board of the Newburyport Choral Society as the Community Outreach Director, and I'm also here representing Skylark Vocal Ensemble, which is a professional chorus who has concerts here in Newburyport from time to time. Their next concert's the first week of June. What does culture mean to me? It is a way of both building community and supporting community. And I think that is what we all are as members of the arts community with one another, but also our greater community as well.
Thank you.
We'll go together.
A duo. A duo.
A twofer.
Okay.
I'm Ken Irwin, and
Donna Wilson Irwin.
we both work with the Belleville Roots concerts at the Belleville Church. I've been doing so for over 10 years, bringing in roots music to Newburyport, and we're also involved with Parks Fest, previously the Americana Roots Rhythm and Roots Festival, and we also work with the Belleville Arts Center, I guess it's called.
Foundation.
Yeah, Foundation. Yeah.
Okay, so I looked up a lot of words for culture, and I have to say I love them all, so I'm just going to share them with you. And they're just words, so put them in your mouth, twirl it around on your tongue, see what you think. Beliefs, values, dress, color, food, ritual, arts, storytelling, social behavior, language, traditions, stories, community, diversity, and ultimately, unity of purpose. Thank you.
Well, a little longer than 15 seconds.
There are two of us, though.
Well worth it. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christopher Silva, the new executive director here at the Custom House Maritime Museum. So great to meet everybody. I took my assignment a little too seriously, so I prepared a whole speech, and I have to whittle it down to 15 seconds. But since I'm here at the museum, to me, culture is about our history. It's reflected in our heritage, and it's how we express ideas, share creativity, and we do that collectively. And to me, that's culture. Thank you.
Thank you.
Katie Harriet, like a couple of kind of wondering why I'm here, but was one of the original members of the Cultural Alliance Roundtable when that was active, and have a lot of good friends in the room here or in the tent. To me, culture is kind of like the sides on a Thanksgiving dinner. We all know that the turkey's going to be really good, and we all know that Newburyport is really terrific, but it's the sides and the cultural activities, events, and organizations that really round out the picture and make it really spectacular and special.
Thank you, Katie.
Hello. My heart is racing right now. My name is Lauren Santoro. I represent two organizations. My husband and I own Blue Lamb Design Group. We do interior design and we refinish vintage furniture. And I also represent People's Cafe, which is part of People's United Methodist Church. And we have sort of an emerging new cultural center, community center supporting the arts. Oh, and I defined culture as the identity of a community. It is the unique way in which we live and express ourselves.
Thank you.
I'm Heidi Neufeld. I live here in town, and I'm an artist. I'm a maker. I'm always curious about everything. I like old stuff. I like to fix things. And I'm just a new member of the Cultural Council and so excited to be here. Culture to me is the distillation of the best that humanity can bring to the experience of life.
Great. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Deirdre Gerard. I'm a playwright, a marketing entrepreneur, and I've been helping the Newburyport Arts Collective get started up. I did not get the assignment ahead of time, but off the top of my head, I would say culture to me is something that helps each of us find our unique voice in the universe.
These are really good, you know?
Hi, I'm Beth Clary. I am on the board of the Newburyport Chamber Music Festival, and I'm going to be sassy. When I heard what does cultural mean to you, I thought yogurt.
All right.
For this, we wasted 15 seconds.
Creative. Maybe not
That was great.
Very creative.
I'm Sherry Rogers, and I'm on the board of the Newburyport Chamber Music Festival. And I'll cede my 10 seconds to somebody else because I'm still thinking about it.
Oh, good. I'm so glad I'm after you. You knew I wasn't going to keep it to 20 words. You can't compartmentalize arts and culture in 20 words or less. So, I'm Gretchen Desitels. For those of you who do not know me, I own a pleasant shop here in Newburyport, right next to the post office. I represent 86 local artists. Arts and culture is the fabric that creates an identity that influences and supports traditions, values, character, and personality. Through these influences, businesses and residents alike can provide a local linkage where communities are more likely to take part in and support local traditions. Through these traditions, our local communities can encourage both development and preservation of our culture, values, and visions of what our society should be. A diversified, improved state of community and social well-being.
That's great. You took Sherry's time and your own time.
I talk fast. I wasn't concerned about it.
Hello, my name is George Aranio. I'm with the Newburyport Documentary Film Festival and also with the Cultural Council. Culture is expression through artistic means.
Great. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Anna Smolowitz. This is going to take about 6 minutes. So anyway, no, I came to Newburyport. I was born in Germany. No, I came to Newburyport in 1979 and decided that it didn't have a children's theater, so I started one in my backyard. And today it's theater in the open. Bravo, bravo. And my thing today is I do theater mostly at the Firehouse and teach acting 52 years now. And my play Terrorism Children of the Holocaust has done some interesting things in the last 51 years. We have performed that play every year for 51 years. And I'm happy about that. In various languages, including Germany and Auschwitz and so forth. But we just did it last Monday at the Firehouse for the 20th time in 25 years. And you know what? There's always somebody who hasn't seen it. So, especially those 8th graders from Kentucky. So that's what we're doing. And my view of culture is how you can, a person can authentically meet another human being along this journey and really, truly know them. Right here.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Camille Garrow. I'm on the board of directors with the Actors Studio. I'm also on the planning and event committee with the Custom House. So between those, you do everything. So I write plays and music and lyrics and all that kind of stuff, and then produce and help with all that stuff. So it's a very, very exciting line. 20 words exactly. Culture unifies and educates a community by respecting and preserving its history via its foods, museums, visual and performing arts.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kristen Tolman, and I'm on the board of directors of the Terrorism Project with Anna. And my daughters have been involved in theater and dance, and we brought the play to film during the pandemic. It was very exciting. And so my culture to me is sort of the depth of the human experience. That's it.
Well, I'm Sandra Thexter, and I've been living here since '73 and been involved in arts sort of much of the time it's always been a bubbling little place with lots of artistic stuff, and I think this is wonderful. So let's really make something of it. And what I wanted to say, well, I represent Small Solutions, Big Ideas, which we try to bring some diversity into the community. But I want to say, I don't think that huge cultural changes, politicians can talk all they want, people can talk all they want, but change comes through arts expression. South Africa, apartheid, it was the music that carried them, us through the 60s, it was the music that carried them. I'm sure there are other examples.
Good, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Bethany Grofterow. I'm the Executive Director of the Museum of Old Newbury. I'm also on the Planning Committee of the Newburyport Literary Festival and on the board of Lowell's Boat Shop, which I know is all the way over there, but I think that counts. I say total nonsense when I don't write things down, so I wrote this down. To me, culture is creative expression, language, objects, and memories that make up a community when people are alive and what survives them after death.
Hi everybody, I'm Kristen Failhaber. I am the Assistant Director with Bethany at the Museum of Old Newbury. Very excited to be here. And I'm going to riff off of Sandra Thaxter, who said bubbling, and riff off of Beth Clary, who said yogurt. I'm a big sourdough baker, so culture is an environment where different organisms can thrive together.
I'm Peter Karzasti.
Halfway done.
I'm Peter Karzasti with the Newburyport Documentary Film Festival, September 16th through 18th. And with my cohort George over there, the creators of the Yes Award, Young Emerging Showcase for Young Emerging Filmmakers. My craft and trade is communications consulting in the arts, and I will give you my definition appropriating from the great writer Catherine Ann Porter. And it's in my email signature, and that is, the arts are what we find when the ruins are cleared.
Hi. That's a float plane.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Just for you all.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Noss. I'm the new Executive Director of the Newburyport Arts Association. I'm possibly the newest Newburyport resident here. I just moved here in January from Scotland. And let's see, culture. Oh, I am an artist myself. Glass is my primary medium. Culture is paradoxical, I think. It's the traditions, interests, and heritage of people and place, but it converges with the atmosphere, environment, and trends of the time.
Speaks loudly and clearly.
No pressure.
I'm Rosalie Kutikia. I've been in Newburyport for about 15 years and been involved in the arts in every possible capacity since then. My affiliation right now is with Theatre Street Studios. I keep a studio there and I'm an artist. And I do a little work for the Firehouse Center for the Arts. Culture, the creative arts through line that carries beauty, inspiration, and wisdom throughout the millennia.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Marcus, and the organization that I have been most involved with is Transition Newburyport, which has manifested itself visibly by the Alchemical Garden on the Rail Trail, the Earthport Film Festival, and the Repair Cafe. So, culture is the ethics, beliefs, knowledge, and vision of a group of people, and its reflection in their stories, images, and practices. And I'd also like to say, on a personal note, if it hadn't been for the arts, I don't think my son would have ever made it through high school. That kept him engaged, involved, and also working with Anna and the Firehouse. So to me, it's a very personally important.
Thank you. Yeah, don't forget us in the front here.
My name's Mary McDonald. I have been in town for about 36 years, and I've been involved with each of the museums and so a little bit of theater, a little bit of firehouse. But I decided to go to a place where you can really make no money and start my own nonprofit 4 years ago, and I am now the director of Tinker House Community Makerspace. And we have things for people of all ages and all skill levels to do. My idea of culture is how a community exhibits its values and tastes through welcome, inclusion, language, education, music, art, humor, and food.
Good, thank you.
Hi everybody, I am Edward Speck, or Teddy. I am the Artistic Director at Theater in the Open. I am the Vice Chair of the Friends of Maudsley, and I am a very proud company member at Exit Dance Theater. And to me, culture is how we teach ourselves how to be human.
I am Fontaine Dallas Debuse. I co-founded Exit Dance Theater in 1987. I am director and owner of the Dance Place at the Tannery, and I am the director of youth company, Joppa Dance Company. The parents here, dancers. Culture is the soul of every community. It's the soul.
Yes. Hi, I'm Adrienne Silver Smith. I'm actually part of the LCC here. I'm also a member of the NAA, and I'm an artist. I'm a visual artist. I'm a painter, and I have a studio in Cedar Street Studio, which is fantastic. But I'm not going to tell you my definition of culture, because I just wanted to tell you that, or present a thought that I had read someplace, that culture differentiates a civilized community from a non-civilized. So I wanted to give that, yeah.
Hi, my name is Monica. I'm a member of the local cultural council, and I'd like to apologize for that little flyby. To me, arts and culture are really the heart of a quality of life in a community. You show me a town that has lots of different arts and cultural experiences, and I'm going to show you a place that people want to live and work and visit, and I think Newburyport really has that in spades.
Hello, my name is Steve Miles, and I'm the president of Cantamus, which is a regional chamber chorus. We've been singing here in Newburyport for 40 years, and we just celebrated our 40th anniversary at a concert at the Belleville with the Paul Winter Consort from New York City, and we were pleased to sell that facility out. And just a shout out to all the people who've worked to keep that structure alive, and to share with you an observation that Paul Winter, who has performed in thousands of theaters he's now 82, but he walked into that space and he said, this is like a national treasure. That you have a space here that's designed for listening in this town. So much of our work is visual, but if you're watching a screen and I'm watching a screen, there's not necessarily any shared experience. But a room like that, and Gina's here from the Newburyport Children's Choir. We had them up in the balcony, and Paul talked about the recordings of the whale songs, and he said to the kids, he said, the whale is bigger than this whole Belleville Theater, right? And the whales have been on the planet far longer than human beings have existed. So if it worked for the whales, would it be a good idea if we also sang? And then he recorded the wolves, and he had the whole audience, shouting wolf, making wolf sounds. Right? But in music specifically, and thinking of the definition of culture, so culture is how we encode our experiences in society so that they can be shared between ourselves, but also across time. So in music, we have scores, for example. But that ability to communicate and share is an integral part of what we all have the privilege of doing. And I wanted a special shout out to the Newburyport Chorale Society, who loaned us their risers for our concert at the Belleville. So thank you. Hi, I'm Ron Martino. I'm a co-founder of ACES, which is the Alliance of Climate and Environmental Stewards locally. We represent about 35 environmental organizations. In a way, it recognizes that culture, like people, myself, environmentalists, are part of an ecosystem. So one group might be representing Storm Surge, another Tinker House, another Transition Newburyport, but it's an ecosystem. It takes an ecosystem to really make things work. And my definition of culture is the accumulated existential coping mechanism of the human species.
Very scientific.
Hello, I'm Kathy Scanlon, and I'm here representing GNOCA, which is the Greater Newburyport Ovarian Cancer Awareness, and one of our main events is the Newburyport Lantern Festival at the Bartlett Mall on Labor Day weekend. Culture. Culture is a part of life. I see it as like a meal that includes texture and color and decoration and garnishes and spices and sauces and seasonings and, of course, desserts.
Hi, I'm Jean Coffey, and I'm helping out with the NAC. Culture to me is the way that we build and inspire community, especially young people.
Hello, I'm Sarah Kelso. I'm the Assistant Director at the Newburyport Public Library. I believe culture lives in our shared creativity, conversations, interests, values, and rich traditions.
Hi, I'm Giselle Stevenson, the director at the Newburyport Public Library, and I have to say the library has really been fortunate to be able to collaborate and support many of the different organizations that are here in Newburyport, and we love that. And I think that culture is a collective of shared values and common interests that give our lives context and meaning.
Hi, I'm Lois Honegger, and I'm here representing the Firehouse. And I too did not get the memo about what culture means to me. Sorry. But after listening to everyone and what you've all had to say, it is so refreshing to be under this tent today and listening to everything you've said, because Newburyport desperately needs what you were saying. So, thank you.
And Lois did not want to shout out, but I can't keep my mouth shut. Lois was one of the first instigators to actually get the grant to have this happen. So thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Julie Cook. I help promote events and work with a bunch of different organizations, the PEG Center for Art and Activism, North of Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau, Donna at Bellevue, a whole bunch of folks here. Art Walk, oh yeah, I forgot about Art Walk. And we have been pushing a rock up a hill, and we're so thrilled to have other people helping us, get it there, because that's why I moved here. Creativity, I didn't get anything. Creativity. To me, is, I don't know, creativity is, our culture is creativity, fun, and a reason to get up in the morning.
Hi, I'm Paula Esty, and I'm the Executive Director of the nonprofit, the PEG Center for Art and Activism, and the founder of the Women in Action Huddle, and an activist. Amplifying diversity in our family, civic, and community lives through creative expression, dialogue, and shared custom. Sorry, I lost my voice.
Thank you, Paul.
Hi, I'm Javon Alley. My husband and I own an architectural design build company in town, but I'm here representing the Newburyport Documentary Film Festival, which I've been a part of since it began 18 years ago, so it's been around a long time. For me, I thought of what culture means to me. So I wrote, culture for me creates opportunities, let me start again. Culture creates opportunities for me to join others in ways that enhance my well-being.
I didn't know we had homework assignments. That's why I'm in the back row. My name's Andrew Sidford. I'm, I think, artist first, but architect second. I've been working here for 30 years. I think half this room are clients, unfortunately. We design sustainable projects, but honestly, architecture to me is really art that you live in. And we do everything from we're working with Sandra Thatcher on a community center in Africa. We're working with Ryan Kelly on a new art center in Newbury. We just designed Jimmy's Jazz Club and Mona Museum for Contemporary Art in Portsmouth. And I would say that culture to me is really the difference between survival and living.
I like that. Yeah.
Hi everybody, my name's Bob Watts. Maybe you've seen my posting. I urge everybody to come take a walk with me. I'm a photographer. I walk the city. Last year I did 2 million steps. Art is my passion. Artists and culture are so important. I'll stress that through the millennia, it's only art that survives, really. And I'm going to also make a statement about that art matters. I know it's a common phrase today, but art really matters. Besides that, I work with Bethany and Kristen. I'm on the board of the Museum of Old Newbury, and I love this community, and art matters. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
Hi everybody, I'm Paul Swindlehurst. I'm here today representing the Board of Directors of the Custom House Maritime Museum. So I join our new Executive Director, Chris Silva, in welcoming you to this beautiful space, right? It's wonderful. We have a series of nonprofits that are able to use it through the season. Culture, for me, is what happens to describe when people like us do things like this.
Very nice.
It's very...
Very
I give to you, Lois.
I'm Bert Snow. I lead the Outdoor Sculpture at Maudsley show. And applications for this year's show are due by May 24th, so it's not too late. The show will be in September. So thinking about this, artists who make sculptures are individuals working on things, and not necessarily thinking about they're by themselves working on what they're working on, and so part of what we think about is supporting that and doing things in a way that we're not saying no to people, or not sort of saying that your art isn't good enough, and trying to keep things from being supportive and not competitive, because that's sort of part of supporting the individual artist who then creates the community. It's come to feel to us like that's the most important thing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jordy Vining. I'm a senior project manager for the City of Newburyport's planning office, Office of Planning and Development. And I've worked probably with most of the people in this tent here. I've been working for Newburyport for 20 years or so. Flown by, pretty amazing. And Paul was just talking about this space. This space was a parking lot when I got here. And part of my work is this long Custom House Way, the Fisherman's Plaza, the Harbor Master's office, the boardwalk, and on and on. I got here late because of a sort of a cultural inflection moment for Newburyport. I was taking a walk on the rail trail with 7 Afghan kids who we have very little communication back and forth, but they're in an amazing cultural shock right now. And some of the phrases that they're constantly saying is, not in Afghanistan, not in Afghanistan, which is quite something. So my 20 words. Culture is behaviors, beliefs, a multi-layered way of life for a group, constantly evolving, all-encompassing, and built together.
Thank you. Anything else back there? Okay.
Hi, I'm Sid Rashke. I am on the board of the Coastal Trails Coalition with Elizabeth. That's one of the many other things that she does. And we help get grant money for rail trails because the government doesn't want to give it out if there's not a grassroots organization. So if we weren't here, we might miss out on some grants. So they know there's local. It's a way they know that there's local support. And along with Jordy, I am a part of a 3-person steering committee for the Black History Initiative. And this is an effort to make sure that all of our beautiful signs that we have on the boardwalk, on our rail trails, are representative of Black people throughout Newburyport's history, which is quite an extraordinary story. Culture, to me, is a way we can share beautiful things in our community without having to speak the same language.
Ryan Mann?
Right?
Okay, all right. So I'm Pat Cannon. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm the head of the Cultural Council, and I do want to thank all these awesome members of this awesome team of the Cultural Council. So if you guys could just give them a round of applause. Is yet to come because we're about to do some breakout groups. But I did want to share that what culture means to me is really bridging a span of generations and bridging a span of just a variety of all these different people. And it's so exciting because I've worked with a lot of you and in different ways, and it really provides a true identity and a true fabric for a community, as well as a spirit and peace as well. So that's what culture means to me.
Good.
Yep.
Well, isn't this interesting? Took a long time, a lot longer than I ever thought. But the breadth of, first of all, the cultural activities is amazing. It's amazing. And I also observed that you were not shy at all about advertising your wares. What's an organization, a cultural organization, without a good PR program? So I'm going to do the same thing. We have a few items that we need to acknowledge, and for example, you're not going to have this after we finish up, but we have wonderful local delicacies created by New Kitchen. We have Chikoka has done the special
Little whoopie pies with our logo on it. Yes. We'll have those.
And M. Cacao has provided Newburyport's own gourmet chocolate here.
That's right. So you'll have to stay till the end, because that's at the end.
Yeah,
So.
these are the best chocolates
That's right.
you've ever seen.
That's right.
Let's see. The city. We need to acknowledge the city.
Yes.
For their contributions to this whole effort, and future contributions as well. I think.
That's right.
Anybody else?
Teddy for the tent. Thank you so much.
Teddy.
Yeah, up here in the open. Sorry. And then our friends Sarah and Ryan also, because this is actually being videotaped. So this is such an important forum because the city is going to be watching this. This is a time for us to really share our voices, share them with the city. They're actually going to be reviewing this to then potentially move forward to put it in their city plan. So we're super excited, and we have Sarah and Ryan from the Newburyport Community Media Hub. It's all recorded for you guys to watch again and for people to review. So, but I think now we're going to move into breakout groups, and we already have those kind of all set up. So.
Yep, we'll move right in, and with the guidance of our discussion leaders, there are 5 discussion leaders, we're going to consider 3 questions. First, what common ground do a lot of us share? Do all of us share? And looking at the range of activities that goes on in this group, I don't know, it might be harder than we thought to get to the common ground. Second, what challenges do you and your organization face? And third, what can the city of Newburyport do to help support the arts and culture organizations to achieve their visions for the future? prejudice about it, but that third one sounds like a real winner to me.
We're just going to review the questions and then also review some of your notes.
Okay.
So, and then we'll just keep going.
Okay, our common ground. And I'll just ricochet this off. I'll just rip it off like it's a poetry slam. And if it gets too long, just say, all right, we got to move on. But you'll see similar themes. Similar themes arrive. Value and culture. We're all involved with the arts in some way. We may be siloed from each other, but we need to find new ways to communicate and support each other. Connecting like-minded people. We're trying to find common ground among arts styles. Some of us are painters, some of us are musicians, some of us are historians. How can we find a way to connect those to better collaborate, create better overall experiences? We're in Newburyport. We don't all live here. We may work here or not, but we're all connected to this city because of some artistic creations. We love to support creatives. We like to support families. We believe that arts are important to the development of children and families. The arts stimulate each other. Again, mentioning that we need to collaborate more, how a history piece could influence an artwork that could influence the creation of a musical piece. The need to expand audiences. We're here because we are desperate to expand our audiences, expand the types of people that come to our programming, and finding ways for funding. Are we competing against each other? Are there ways to collaborate so that we don't feel like we're all going for the same bucket of cash? So that was number one. You want to go through all three, or just, should I go through all three, or just, go to three. Go to number, all right, shoot straight to three? All right, going for three. This is a shorter list because the other ones were a little longer. We need a calendar that everybody can see, both internally and externally. The dream of the city of Newburyport having a page that's just for the arts, and anyone in the world can go to that page and see what's going on in the next 60 to 90 days. And it's linked to our organizations, an Instagram integration, a paid city employee that can manage this and work with all the arts groups. And use models from different successful cities. Amesbury has a full-time person in the city hall that does just arts. North Andover has it, Haverhill has it, Somerville has it. Why can't Newburyport have it? How about starting to educate and become the idea of 1% for the arts? All capital projects like the city of Somerville or Arlington, 1% of all capital projects has arts installed in 1% of that budget all the time. What about if the city, over time instilled something like that? And those were the big things in number three. Next, group three. Where's group three? Come on, group three.
Someone flew the coop.
All right, group four. Group four. Group four.
Hello, everyone. I represent Group 4. It occurs to me that we can leave these up somewhere while we're socializing so people can take a closer look at things. And they're going to be sent to everyone. So anyway, I guess I'll go right to question 3. It seems to be the most important. So how can the city help us? 1, help with marketing. 2, help to amplify our message. Help with administrative and structural support. Help develop performance space. City support in helping develop performance space. An easier interface with the city. So some of the members in our group spoke to some very easy moments in working with the city to develop their projects. And some folks spoke to how difficult it is to work with the city in developing their project. And then lastly, having shuttles. I wasn't around at this time, but I guess there were events in our past where people parked at a distance and they were shuttled in. So we felt that that was important as well. So I'll leave with question 3. If you want me to talk about common ground and challenges, I can, but if not, we can move on. All right.
3 or 5?
I will represent 5. We had a wonderful conversation about our common ground and about our challenges. And I think they will be pretty well reflected in what we think the city could do for us. We talked about the importance of communication, not just in terms of course calendar, communication internally for calendars, communication for people who have, letting people know what our events are so that people know what they should be going to, what they should be going to every weekend. But also for people in positions of authority to speak to the value that the arts brings, not just broadly, but specifically, really supporting each organization and calling out what is being done in this community by individuals and by organizations. And then reflecting that in policy as well. We have a similar conversation about how city policies can sometimes be actually a hindrance to our work, and more than lip service, we need policy making that reflects the value that we bring. Everything from parking permits to liquor licenses to police details to use of city buildings, the assets that the city has, how can they actually be turned out to support culture? We'd like a line item in the budget. Spaces, again, just broadly, having the city think about how physical resources could be leveraged for the use of artists, particularly in the context of artists being priced out of this area and artistic organizations, cultural organizations losing that talent pool and somehow having to raise the money to then bring in that talent pool from elsewhere. We also discussed arts in the schools, the importance of arts education, and how our cultural organizations could be brought into that and integrated in the public schools. And money. Just money. Did I miss anything?
No.
So most of my esteemed city roles have been by just the same process that nobody else wanted this. So apparently I'm the spokesman for 3. Apparently I'm the spokesman for 3, so I'm going to do my best here. The basic idea was we felt there wasn't enough. The common ground is not enough support for the arts, period. We'd like to see more of a support for bringing back language, music, and arts to education. Perhaps the idea of liaisons or mentors for high school students, and free chamber site for culture activities. Same thing on the city website. Daily news and arts activities, mayor involvement. And then the last idea is that this group should be creating the content for whatever goes out there. Why not a cultural newspaper written by you folks and distributed to chamber, to inns, out of town, to advertise what's going on in here. So you take control instead of thank you.
We wanted funding for the schools to do
Right. Absolutely.
So most of what we talked about has already been mentioned. I will bring up a couple things that haven't, I don't think. Someone brought up the idea of having public electronic screens somewhere, maybe near the parking spots or in some of the in-street pass-throughs that would promote the arts by having sort of let you know what's going on this weekend, or having photos from art shows or the theaters. We could use lots of communication help. It would be nice to have city-wide Wi-Fi or portable hotspots that you can borrow from a lending library. See, now we know. You can? All right. So, done.
Get her done.
We would like the city to have a listing of spaces and buildings that would be usable for rehearsal space, art exhibits, artists to work in, and also perhaps to help with support for different usages of buildings, because you now have theater groups trying to rehearse in office space, and it's not going that well. There's a lot of pushback about the industrial park, but they're the only place that has space. So it would be very nice to have some help with that. It would be nice to have a cultural hub clearinghouse city calendar. It would be wonderful to have a dedicated public paid position, maybe shared with the chamber, maybe funded with grants, that would be the arts cheerleader in all the ways. That's all that we talked about that everybody had.
So these are just an amazing map of inspiration, and you guys are probably all asking, thinking, why do we do this? So what we're going to do is we're going to compile all this information, and we're going to send it out digitally as well as written. And we're going to just all be on kind of the same page, so we can actually have one voice that goes directly to the city. But then you all will also have this information. It'll have your contact information. That's why it's so important to fill out that individual sheet and leave it with us. And if you don't want to put your information in the book, please let us know. But you'll have everyone here's information, and then also you want to have the responses to the questions. But we're going to collaborate, and we're going to create like a symposium booklet for the city to go ahead and carry on with helping the city plan. So thank you all so much for your amazing thoughts.
One more piece of business. We feel that it would definitely be remiss if we didn't focus directly on one aspect of the future that every last one of us is concerned with. As we close today's program, we have some thoughts on the subject of generational change from Ryan Kelly and Mia Yin. Sorry.
Yay!
Ryan, you know all too well as
yeah, whippersnappers, get up there. Whippersnappers.
Ryan, you know very well as the entrepreneurial, creative artist, and who makes a pretty damn good businessman too. Is that a dirty word?
Maybe.
And he has some very interesting things to say about this person here. Go ahead.
Perfect. I'm not gonna go no Mike because we're like all hungry. So, for those of you that don't know, my name is Ryan Kelly. I own Wired by Ryan. I've been in business for 11 years. I've worked in the city for the youth services and at Chicoco before that. And being a Byfielder, this is my city. Newburyport is my city, just like if you're in Georgetown, just like if you're in Newburyport. We share this. So one thing I wanted to kind of focus on was there are so many possibilities that we just talked about in this tent. The most important one to us is the future, whether it's the future of our business, the future of our nonprofit, the future of our generation, the future of the culture. We are in control of that. So culture has defined time periods, dynasties, and eras, and we have the opportunity to change Newburyport's culture in a significant way. That way is through the youth of this city. Where will the energy of the culturally energized youth take Newburyport in the next 15 years when we do everything possible to support them? How do we get the youth involved across all avenues of culture in the city so they can continue to grow as diverse, well-rounded adults that Newburyport can create them? One opportunity I hold very near and dear to my heart is the relationship that I have with the Newburyport High School National Art Honor Society. I worked for the youth services for 5 years working with these students, and now as an artist and as a business person, I see them at the high school starting and really continuing their future in the arts. Visiting them, sharing my passion, talking about being a business owner in town has been a pleasure, and I see the faces from youth services grow into adulthood now, which is scary because now I'm like super old, which is crazy.
Well,
We're all young. We're all young.
Really?
It's not a comparison. So, what other opportunities can we provide for our youth to empower them to dive into their personal culture, what they define as that? Who is the next me? Who are the next us's? What are the next nonprofits and groups coming together that don't even exist yet, that maybe they morph into? That's a huge deal, and that's how you create a lasting culture in a community. We said earlier, culture is what remains. Culture is what you find from something else. We are making that right now, and we can continue to make that, like people like me.
Hello everyone, my name is Mia Gim. I'm a senior at Newburyport High School. I'm involved in the National Art Honor Society. I'm also a board member of the Cultural Council, and I'm the student intern for the Newburyport Chamber Music Festival. There's Beth. I just feel so passionate about the culture and arts in the city. I think the potential, especially among people my age, the youth, are immense. I truly think that there's so much potential, and I think through things like this, events like this, where we motivate others, we motivate the city to take those actions and provide those resources for people, like you just create this system where you build this really strong foundation where people like me, like Ryan, who go through the school system, who want to pursue art, don't have to start from here. They can start from here, where there are already mentorships and apprenticeships and scholarships and awards and things that are built into the foundation of the school system that don't exist right now, that can exist through all of us. Because why should someone have to start from down here when all of us are up here? We can learn from each other, and I think building those connections from the youth to people throughout the community who are already doing the arts and already having these opportunities and with these connections, we can build things together that don't exist right now that create immense potential that is just like unrealized right now. And so that's kind of why I'm here. I really feel passionate about that in my role in the city and in the arts and in the culture and trying to get my friends and everybody in on it. I'm like, guys, this is where it's at. Like, because this is the future, like Ryan says. This is what remains, this is what we build, and this is what the city becomes.
very well said. Mia will lead the next cultural forum. It'll be wonderful, so thank you so much. I'll just sum it up. I think we can all say we're all very, very grateful for your participation, for your passion, for your experience, for your voice, and for your love for the arts and culture in Newburyport. This forum represents a tipping point, and a very, very important tipping point in our city. It's just the beginning, and this is an important time for our voices to be heard. So we look forward to vibrant discussions and solidifying our path to further our city's cultural identity. And we are also dedicated to creating a city where all people thrive. And similar to our logo, we'll weave together common ground and make the city amazing and culturally rich. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for coming.
Hello, my name is George Aranio. I am on the board of directors of the Newburyport Documentary Film Festival. I'm also a new member of the Newburyport Cultural Council. We are wrapping up our inaugural Newburyport Cultural Forum. It was a great day. We had a great turnout. We had great participation, and we've got lots of great ideas to share with the powers that be here in Newburyport. So we're looking forward to a bright future in arts and culture in Newburyport.
Hi, I'm Deirdre Gerard.
And I'm Jean Coffey, and we represent the Newburyport Arts Collective. We're very excited about this forum that's just happened because we feel like it shows how much support there is for the arts in Newburyport and how much diversity there is the arts in Newburyport. And we all have a lot of common goals to build up the culture and the support for the arts that we have.
This is one of the first times that all of these arts organizations have come together, shared their goals to say, can we speak with one voice, to have more influence in the city and to really perpetuate the growth of the arts in Newburyport. It's such a big part of the branding in Newburyport as an arts mecca, as a place people come for the arts. So this is the first time, instead of each of us being the steward of our individual organizations, we're looking at what we can do better when we work collaboratively.
Hello, my name is Mia Yim, and I am a senior at Newburyport High School. I am a member of the Newburyport Cultural Council, student intern for the Newburyport Chamber Music Festival, and member of the National Art Honor Society at school. To me, the vision of arts in this community is just like immense potential. I think there are immense resources, as we can see here tonight, and I think making these connections is so integral to the future. And I think through this we can create such a strong foundation for the arts and the culture that we can build off of for the future, especially for the youth in this community, that can make such a strong future. And again, culture is what makes the city. It's the soul of the city, and it's going to be beautiful.
My name is Edward Speck, or Teddy. I grew up in Amesbury, and I am the artistic director of Theater in the Open here in Maudsley State Park. The conversations that we were having tonight are conversations that we've been having a long time. Artists get together and they talk about what resources they have and what resources they need and how they can collaborate, and bringing the city directly into those conversations is hugely important, and I'm very optimistic and excited to see what happens when we have those conversations and they lead directly to policy and to action, because the cultural community here is always up for collaboration, is very, very engaged both internally and always wanting to help externally. So I can't wait to see what comes of this summit.
I'm Bethany Grofterow. I'm the executive director of the Museum of Old Newbury, and it was an incredible experience to be here today. And what I really took away from it is how much we all need help marketing, promoting, and coordinating all the incredible things that are going on in Greater Newburyport all the time. My own personal platform is all about history and context and how much all of the arts and culture are enhanced by an understanding of history, both the distant past and the near past. Again, I'm a historian, so that's my particular point of view, but I really appreciated hearing from everyone about all the hard work they're doing and how much they are struggling to make sure that their message and their events are reaching their audience.
Hello, this is Christopher Silva, Custom House Museum, Maritime Museum Executive Director. And tonight I attended the Cultural Council meeting here at Newburyport. And I gotta say, we learned about being collaborative, a better understanding about what we need as a arts community, and what type of interface we want with city government, and what type of support we want to get from city government, and what we can pass on to other outreach programs, whether it be community, education, or other artists coming into the community. And it was just really an eye-opener about how much we need to do more to support the arts here in Newburyport.
My name is Vicki Hendrickson. I run the Newburyport Literary Festival and Newburyport Adult and Community Education. I think it was very good. I think the most important thing that everybody seemed to agree on is that we need a way to have cultural tourism as a funded position, a director of cultural tourism, and we also, given that, we need the events that we have here publicized. because Newburyport is an amazing community. The people of Newburyport are amazing. The banks are amazing of all the things that they fund. So that's all I really have to say, and the sun's in my eyes, but thank you very much.
My name is Beth Clary. I am the president of the board of the Newburyport Chamber of Music Festival. And this afternoon was inspirational because so many people in the arts want the same thing, which is collaboration, coordination of communication and funding and scheduling and outreach to all ages, especially youth, and that's inspiring to me.